Next question. Spot price of the security X on January 1st is 200. Rate of interest is 25%. The first question is calculate F forward / futures price of the security for 1 year. So again over here we understand that we are required to compute the theoretical forward / futures price of the underlying asset. Please write an answer. Calculation of forward / futures price of underlying asset. Please write an answer. Spot plus interest, spot plus 200 into 25%, time period is 1 year, so it is 250. Next question is, if F price of the security is 260, so the question says that if at all the actual F price is 260, then there are 3 questions which you are required to answer. The first question is whether arbitrage exists. Second question is calculate arbitrage in absolute term, and with that the third question is given. I want you to write the answer of the question number 2A in the chat box. Question number 2A is whether arbitrage exists or not. We understand that the answer of the question is yes, that arbitrage exists. Why? Because the actual price is different in comparison to what it should have been. Actual price is 260, it is different than 250, so arbitrage exists. So please write down answer for the question number 2A. If actual F price is rupees 260, comma, arbitrage exists because actual price is different in comparison to what it should have been. Full stop. In bracket write down 250 is not equal to 260. Now B part of the question. I want you to tell me answer for the 2B calculation of arbitrage in absolute term, that in which transactions we should enter upon today, for making arbitrage. Put your answer in the chat box please. So basically we understand that say the price of the security is more than what it should have been. Today's date is 1st of January, end of the year is 31st of December. The price of the underlying asset should be 250, however it is actually 260. Since actual price is more than what it should have been, so we should enter into the forward contract to sell underlying asset. As we are going to sell the underlying asset at the end of the year, so today we are going to buy the underlying asset. Understand that say if at all we enter into sole transaction of the sale of underlying asset, then in that case that does not give an assurance to us for making profit. Why? Because we understand that say it may happen that the price of the security increases to rupees 300. If at all the price of the security increases to 300, which is say more than 260, then purchasing at 300 and selling at 260 will have a loss. So we understand that say sole transaction of sale of underlying asset will not make a profit. So what we have to do, we are required to do something like this. Since we are going to sell the underlying asset at the end of the year, so today at the beginning of the year we are supposed to purchase, that is buy underlying asset. In order to purchase the underlying asset from the spot market, what we will do, we will borrow. So borrow rupees 200 at the rate of 25% for 1 year. This is what we have to do today. Second, we will purchase the underlying asset, and third, importantly, we will enter into the forward contract to sell the underlying asset at the rate of 260. This is the way we are required to enter into the transactions on 1st of January. So write down answer. For the purpose of arbitrage, comma, enter into following transactions today. In that, write down A, borrow rupees 200 at the rate of 25% for 1 year. B, purchase a share from spot market at the rate of rupees 200. C, enter in F contract to sell underlying asset at the rate of rupees 260 at the end of year. Full stop. With paragraph, write down at the end of year, comma, arbitrator will have following position: A, liability to repay loan rupees 250, 200 plus 25%. B, holding a security. C, holding F contract to sell underlying asset at the rate of 260. with paragraph write down. Calculation of arbitrage. Sale value of security 260 against F contract less repayment of loan 250 so there is an arbitrage of rupees 10. Third question, that is C part of the question. If spot price of the security is 275 on 31st of December, means at the end of the year, calculate profit or loss for above transactions as in B. So I want you to write answer in the chat box. 10 rupees is correct answer by everyone. Why? Because we understand that, say, we already have entered into the forward contract for the purpose of selling the underlying asset. Since the forward contract has already been entered upon, that is the reason we understand that, say, we will be having so firm profit of rupees 10 only, neither more than that nor less than that. This is what, say, we understand. See, basically as a student you are required to understand that what will happen if at all the F price, forward or futures price, is more than what it should have been, then in that case everybody is going to sell the underlying asset. With that, what will happen? Supply of the underlying asset will increase and price of that will fall down. So from 260 to 250, this is the concept. The concept is not to learn arbitrage. The concept is to learn that, say, with these transactions the price will come to an equilibrium point. That is the concept that, say, you need to understand as a student. Fine. So write down answer. Answer for the C question. Amount of profit will remain rupees 10 only, comma, as F contract is already entered upon. Full stop. Now answer of the question is over. I am dictating few extra points to you. Okay, the answer is over from examination point of view. Then on first point, we understand that if actual F price is more than what it should have been, comma, then by selling underlying asset in F, everyone will take advantage. So F price will fall and will reach to its equilibrium price. Full stop. Second point, importantly, only sell in F will not give profit because actual spot price may exceed rupees 260. In that, write down further. Hence, today we need to buy security for the purpose of arbitrage. Full stop. Question number 3. If F price of the security is 235, ascertain whether arbitrage exists, and then the second part of the question is there. I want you to tell me answer in the chat box for question number 3A. We understand that, say, again this 235 is different than 250, so arbitrage is existing. So write down answer of the question number 3A. Actual F price is rupees 235, comma, it is different from rupees 250, so arbitrage is existing. Full stop. Question number 3B, calculate arbitrage in absolute term. I want you to write in the chat box that what are the transactions in which arbitrage will enter on 1st of January. So first of all, let us have understanding before I dictate answer to you. Today's date is, let us say, 1st of January, end of the year 31st of December. We know that, so the price should be 250, but actual price is 235. So we should enter into the F transaction to buy security. Now, as we have recently discussed that, say, entering into only buy transaction will not give profit to us. Why? Because, say, if at all we enter into sole transaction to purchase and the price of the security falls down to 220, then in that case purchasing at 235, which has a value 220, will result into a loss of 15 rupees. So of course we cannot do like that. So what we have to do today, we have to enter into the reverse of that transaction in a way that, say, today what we will do, we will say sell security at the rate of rupees 200. However, we don't have funds, we don't have security. So what we will do, say, we will borrow security to square off the short position in the cash market. We will invest rupees 200 at the rate of 25% for 1 year. Whatever the amount of the investment that, say, we have made will have a maturity amount of rupees 250. 200 plus 25%. Now whatever the security that, say, we have borrowed that say we will refund by purchasing the same as we already have entered into the F contract to buy the security. In a way that's on 1st of January, of course we will enter into the F contract to buy security. At the end of the year, at 235 we will purchase security and we will refund to the borrower, we will refund to the lender, and that will result us say in a profit of rupees 15. This is what we understand. I summarize the transaction. Today, first, sale underlying asset at the rate of rupees 200 in the spot market. Second, borrow underlying asset to square off the short position in the cash market. Third, invest rupees 200 at 25% for 1 year. Fourth, enter into F contract to buy the underlying asset because we are supposed to refund to the lender of the security. At the end of the year, 1, we will have the maturity amount. Second, we are holding a forward contract, futures contract to purchase the underlying asset at 235. Third, we are having the liability to refund the security which we had borrowed initially. Then we will refund the security after purchasing say in the forward contract or futures contract, that will result into the gain of 15 rupees. Dear students, over here one thing which I have ignored is we are ignoring over here one important thing is the borrowing charges. The CA Institute does not consider the borrowing charges say in the calculation, so also we are ignoring. If at all we have been provided with the borrowing charges information, then in that case it is required to be incorporated for the calculation. This is the way we are required to write the answer. So write down the answer of the question. Answer for the B part of the question. Today, following transactions are entered upon. In that, write down 1. Sale security in spot market at the rate rupees 200. Second, invest rupees 200 at the rate 25% for 1 year. Third, enter in F contract to buy security at the rate rupees 235. At the end of year. Fourth, borrow security to cover up short position in cash market. Full stop. With paragraph, write down at the end of year, comma, arbitrator will have a maturity amount of deposit rupees 250, B liability to refund a security C holding F contract to buy security at the rate of rupees 235. With paragraph write down. Calculation of arbitrage. In that maturity amount of deposit 250 less purchase price of security 235 that will result into arbitrage of 15 rupees. With paragraph write down. Directly or indirectly no information is given for borrowing charges, comma, so it is ignored in calculation. Full stop. So friends, again I hope that everybody is very much clear with the point that everybody will enter into the F contract to buy the underlying asset at rupees 235. With that said, the price of the underlying asset in F market will increase, in forward / futures will increase from 235. It will increase in such a way so that an equilibrium situation is set. In spot market, everybody is going to sell the security, so its price will fall down. So ultimately there will be an equilibrium point that will be established, and forward price will be such so that the arbitrage will not be existing in the market. Summary of the entire answer. In first question, we had to make the computation of the F price, forward price in an equilibrium situation, spot plus interest. Question number 2a, wherein we can see that the price is 260, more than what it should have been. So in that case, we are supposed to sell in forward, and we will buy in spot for the purpose of making gain. Since we are buying in the spot, so simply by applying common sense, we understand that we borrow. Next is, if at all the price of the security is 235, it is less than what it should have been. Even in that case, arbitrage is possible. In that case, we are supposed to buy in forward. Since we are buying in forward, today we will sell. And in order to cover up the short position in the cash market, we will borrow. End of the year, we will purchase the security for the purpose of refunding, and by that time the maturity amount of the deposit will be more than 235. Hence, there is an arbitrage of 15 rupees. This is the way the transactions are required to be entered upon.